Well, hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you to Friday's show. I'm Joy, and today the topic is living in fear, okay? And this topic is important because, there's been a lot of events lately that have people living in fear. And what made me decide to discuss it today is I heard, I don't even read the paper. I don't read news. I don't watch news. But the way the internet is designed, that it's you get on the internet and you are going to get inundated with a lot of news. Everything from what Kim Kardashian is wearing to the Boston bombing. So it's like in everything. You just get an eyeful and an earful by looking at this stuff. So I saw online that someone put a comment. She said that she's glued to the TV and will be glued to the TV all day. Okay? She's glued to the TV and will be glued to the TV all day. But here's the deal. This is the problem that I have with it. We are all, my 4 pillars are food, fitness, supplements, and mindset. And a lot of these calls deal with mindset. And we have to protect our mind. We already talked about how sensitive it is and how permanent it is as it relates to what you allow into your thoughts. Now, I'm not saying you have to avoid getting information. You can find out what's going on in the world that you live in. But it's about, what do you do, or how does it help when you're marinating in the information? Like a soup. You're just continuing to stir the soup and literally be in the soup and just absorb all of it. Absorb it in your brain, absorb it in your eyes, absorb it in your ears, and allow it to affect you, because it does. Okay? So the question you have to ask yourself is, how does it help me or the world by me just watching it and watching it and watching it and not being able to even take my eyes off of it? And then the counter question is, what can I do to help the world? What could I be doing that would be better or more beneficial to myself and the world? Because what happens is this. We know that everything has energy. And when we connect ourselves to it, we pull in that energy. So now you pull in that energy of fear and that energy of anger and that energy of confusion as to not know why somebody would do something like that. And that energy of rage and that energy of feeling lost and that energy of feeling hopeless or helpless. Remember, you can't take any situation and say that situation gives you permission to do that, to bask in it, to just stay in it and marinate in it for hours or for days. Who are you helping? Who are you helping? I'm not going to keep saying this, but I'll say it one more time. Yes, if you want to know what's going on and you say, okay, great, I know it now. I know what happened. I know it. But that is different from sitting there and just plugging yourself into it and not moving. Not leaving your house, not picking up the phone, unless you're picking up the phone to talk about it to other people. Literally, you're just plugging yourself into it and you're parking it there. You don't want to take your eyes off of it. Almost like a movie, but it's not a movie. It's worse because now it's affecting you on a more real level because it's not a movie. Even though movies have the tendency to do that because it excites your system and really your mind can't tell that it's, real from fake. That's why you have the same emotions. If someone gets hurt in the movie, you might, if there's terror, you're terrified. If there's, a part that makes you angry, you feel that emotion. So it has that ability. But this is even more real. So it's even more magnified. So you have to know that if you are choosing to just park yourself in front of this information over and over and over and over again, then it's going to drain you. So now you can't be as optimal as you could have been with your children or your husband or with yourself that day because you are mentally drained. Now you leave the information to go make dinner or to leave for a few minutes and you're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about it. I know someone that only keeps it on the news. And I'm telling you, this person tells you one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next that's going on. Is she part of the problem or the solution? She's definitely not part of the solution. And as a whole, really you end up being part of the problem. Why? Because if you're not solving anything, you are part of it. And that energy, it goes throughout the universe. So it affects everyone. It affects everyone. Let me give you an example. If you walk around, I notice this every year. If you walk around and you notice that there's the term, the Christmas spirit. And you walk around, Christmas Eve or around that time, and you just notice just think about your own community. You just notice this cheerfulness. You just notice that there's this unspoken joy. This excitement. People are acting differently. You see more smiles. You just can sense it. Okay? So that kind of shows you how collectively we're all affected. So the more people who sit and just marinate in this negativity, in this sadness, in this ridiculousness, the more that it spreads. It already is, thanks to technology, can do it so quickly. You can find information on the social networks, on the TV station. And when people are gathering this information, they go and post more of it. And they keep the information flowing. So there's some good aspects to that, but there's a lot of bad aspects to it as well. And those bad aspects is when you are just stuck there and you allow your spirit to be influenced by that. What can you do? What should you do? You should love up on your children if you have a family. Give some extra tight hugs and kisses, extra smiles, extra opportunities to be thankful. Walk around your house, walk around your neighborhood and wave to more people, wave to more strangers. We have to do that. I had to talk to my son about that today because the neighbor, an older lady, has younger grandchildren. They're not here. And so when she saw him, she just talked. And so he's like, she's just talking. And he's like weirded out by it. I'm like, yeah, that's what people do. They talk. Talk back, okay? Talk back to her. Engage in a conversation with her. She's okay. That's not stranger danger. She's walking her dog and she's happy to see a child. You know, the older people, they love seeing children. Talk with her. Think of something to say. Rub her dog. Just something because you could brighten up her day. Instead of being weirded out by it, make her day. So I was glad that he brought it up, because that was an opportunity for me to let him know how he should have handled it and how I expect him to handle it next time. That's what we should be doing right now. We should be encouraging one another. There's people right now who are facing different situations, who are looking right now. They may feel alone. And again, all those different emotions that I mentioned earlier. So this is a time to come together. And I don't like it when people only come together over tragic events. How come it can't be every day? Why does it take something like that, and then all of a sudden you see support and love and caring and people who seem interested? I think that's just crazy. The thing that I saw online, I saw two things. One that was kind of explaining what was going on, and then the second thing that I saw dealt with a hero who I guess there was a lady who was injured, and he ran and over to help her, and she was looking for him because she just wanted to say thank you to him. And he was just kind of mentioning that what occurred during those moments that they were together, and he was helping her, and he was just saying that he felt that once he got her in a position where she was just calm, then her calmness quickly mirrored back to him and caused him to just feel this sense of peace and calmness, this sense of knowing that everything was just going to be all right. And they're both okay. And I just thought that was interesting because, those same two people could have easily just walked right past each other in the street and not even waved at each other at first. Like, there are things that we need to do, and we need to just get it together, people. That's just the bottom line. We just need to get it together because we only seem concerned about our own little bubbles. And then you end up with a world and everybody's so separated, but yet we're all connected. We're all one. We are all one in this world. But if you look around, if you just go up to the sky and stare down, we're so separate. We're wasting our thoughts on trivial things. I like what it says in the Bible sometimes, just chasing after the wind. When it all boils down, what's most important, okay? And I always like to take experiences like this and events like this to cause me to reflect on what's most important in my life. And that's where I want to park it. That's where I want to marinate. Therefore, I can marinate there and I can have this sense of joy, this sense of peace. Do different things that make me smile and laugh. One thing that I love is I love looking at pictures. Love looking at pictures. My pictures, other people's pictures. I don't know. I've always been that way. If I walk into your home, the first thing I notice are pictures. I walk over to the pictures. I don't even think about it. I just subconsciously walk over to the pictures and start looking at pictures. I don't think it's ever failed when I first walk into someone's home if I see pictures. Okay? I go straight over to the pictures. And so, I don't know, that is just something about pictures that when I look at the picture just kind of makes, especially if they're older pictures, so you just kind of think about that time or how the person looks different or what must have been going on at that time. But I have these feelings of nostalgia, and it's just like, it's just kind of cool. And if they're my own personal pictures, they just bring back memories. So you think about what you were doing at that time, what was going on. And then if you're with someone, you could talk about it and laugh about it. And they're just interesting. So pull out pictures with your family and look at old pictures. Look at those pictures. Talk about them. Share the stories with your kids about some of the things that you experienced growing up and things that were fun and unique, because we all know one thing, okay? We all know one thing, that when we were younger,